Okay, this video is called Cinco de Mayo music, and I'm kind of, joking around here, but there's a point to it. Cinco de Mayo is a Mexican holiday from 1862. The Mexicans won a big battle against the French, and they wanted to push France out of there because they wanted their independence from France. They had lost a war to the United States, Mexican-American War in 1848, and France won the war, but Mexico still pushed them out a little bit after that, and it wasn't that big of a holiday in Mexico, but it's turned into a big beer party holiday in the United States. And one of the things I noticed, I'm half Irish, half Puerto Rican in terms of my parents. I'm an American guy, but my father is from Ireland, my mother's from Puerto Rico. I'm wearing my Puerto Rican tie today, there's a little Puerto Rican flag on the tip of it there. And believe me, all my cousins, all my Hispanic friends, we all want to close, down south, border, okay? But what I'm saying is I love Spanish music. And the other thing I notice is the type of Christianity, like a lot of the Hispanics versus the Irish. A lot of the Irish think they're smarter than they are. I got a lot of cousins, they think they're smart and they're really kind of stupid. And they're very weak mentally. Like, if you're familiar with the Solomon Ash work, I'm going to talk all about music in a sec here, but I want to make a point. In the Solomon Ash series, they said if you had 10, 12 Confederates with the Examiner that would all say the shorter line was the longer one, about 7 out of 10, something like that. The majority of people would wimp out and they go, oh, I guess it is. They would always go with what the crowd says. And that kind of reminds me of like my Irish cousins and friends. They're, if you're not strong and solid in who you are and you've reasoned out your principles about what you believe and what you don't believe, you can get talked into anything. And if you're an atheist, then you have no moral foundation. And so you end up, look at the American women now, the most common type of, MER, is, abortion, okay? They get rid of their babies, okay? They're sick in the head, okay? They make them into pills and they cannibalize them, okay? So what I'm trying to say is that's what you end up with when you go down this path of atheism and weak religion. And what I mean by that is, if somebody's mentally weak and their Christianity is intellectual, they can be talked out of that, okay? But if there's not that many people that are mentally strong, okay, like me. They're rare, all right? But if they're emotionally strong, like my mother, holy crap, my mom was really smart, but she wasn't a scholar. She never read a book in my whole life that I ever saw her. But man, you couldn't say anything negative about Christianity with my mother or my aunts or my cousins, man. Jesus is their best friend. They'll kick your butt, okay? And they're strong in that sense. And it's like, USA is kind of being pushed into becoming a gynocracy to weaken it. But that hasn't happened to the Hispanics that I know, okay? They're still strong. They're not all wimped out and pussified like so much American culture is feminized and weakened. All right, so I'm just going to show you some Hispanic music. And it's great. It's very joyous and strong and robust and warm. There's tons of great English music too, but I just want you to get a sense of it. A couple of great songs here. Let's go to the next slide. I'll have links to everything in the description below. But like just this song right here, Solo Le Pido a Dios. It's magnificent. Wait till you hear it. Let's see, I got a bunch of other good stuff here. Dios le pido, Juanes is great. The other song, La vida es un ratico, Juanes, it's great. JesusCristo. I love all this stuff. I've listened to all these songs hundreds of times. So anyways, I'll have them all in the links below. You can get a sense of them. Mi padre me ama, one Luis Guerra. It's great. It's real about a father and a son. Tu estás aquí. So it's a very emotional, sort of like Pascal's wager, the intensity of the Christianity. That's why it's stronger. Because Christianity is the only thing that's going to save the world. Either the world's going to continue with all this modern nonsense, atheistic Darwinism, and head into slavery and, cruelty and all this stuff, or it's going to re-Christianize. I mean, the Western world, that's it. Those are the only two realistic options. There's no other realistic option, okay? You don't have to be a Christian, but you have to have Christian ethics or you can't have a civil society that's a mixed population that doesn't exist. And anytime Christianity is destroyed, what do you end up with? Third world barbarism, okay, And all the stuff about all cultures are equal is not true at all, okay? Look at the Aztec culture before Christianity came there. They used to pile up thousands of skulls, cannibalism, all that stuff. That's common without Christianity. So anyways, I will have links to these songs. Hope you enjoy them.